A hyperbola has the equation x squared over 64 minus y squared over 36 equals 1. Find the vertices, foci, asymptotes, and length of the transverse axis, then sketch its graph. Honestly, I'm most interested in the graph, but some of the online homework questions ask specifically to list some of the other elements. So we will do both, but I really want to focus on graphing. I think it's important to see how these are graphed. So we know because the x squared term is positive, we're going to have a hyperbola that's opening horizontally to the right and to the left. Now, because a squared is 64, that means that a is going to be 8, and so our vertices are going to be at 8, 0, and negative 8, 0. For drawing the central box, we look at the value of b as well. B squared is 36, which means that b is 6. And so our central box is going to cross the y-axis at 6 and negative 6. Now, once we have these 4 points, which we get just by looking at A and B, we can go in and draw the central box. And mine is not perfect, but that's okay. This is just an aid to figure out what the asymptotes are and to sketch the actual hyperbola. So there we are. Now, the asymptotes are the lines that coincide with the diagonals of the central box. So we can draw those in now. And the other one going down in this direction. All right. And then to draw the hyperbola, remember that we start at the vertices and we draw our curve so that they're tangent to the central box and then asymptotically approaching the asymptotes. And then on the other side, the same sort of thing. And so this is a sketch of our graph, x squared over 64 minus y squared over 36 equals 1. And that's the graph, but we also wanted to list the vertices, the foci, the asymptotes, and the length of the transverse axis. So let's list those. The vertices, we know, are at plus or minus 8, 0. The foci, remember, those require figuring out what c is. And we know that c squared is a squared plus b squared. So in this case, c squared is 64 plus 36, which is 100. And the square root of 100 is 10. So the foci are going to be at plus or minus 10, 0. And we can plot those if we want. Can't hurt. All right, and then the asymptotes, we can actually see on the graph, we've got y equals plus or minus, and the slope here, the rise is 6 and the run is 8. So we've got 6/8, which reduces to 3/4, so plus or minus 3/4 x. We can also get this algebraically. It's plus or minus b over a times x, but we can also look at it from what we graphed. And you can see why it's b over a, because b is the rise and a is the run of the slope. Anyways, we've got the asymptotes and then the length of transverse axis, which is the line segment that connects the two vertices, is going to be 16 because we've got 8 to the left and 8 to the right. We just get that by looking at 2 times a. And so these are all of the attributes we were looking for, and we also have the graph, and so these are our final answers.